turning flashes into consistency. This is the frustrating part, 49ers fans. This is the frustrating part, is that I see, it passes the eye test on the field that the 49ers flash greatness. When you think of that first drive against Indianapolis, come on. That misdirection, those runs, we were gashing them, man. We had them on the ropes. It looked like the 49ers were going to walk away with the game. It looked like Indianapolis had no answers. After the game, Darius Leonard confirmed for us that the Colts had no answers, and it was merely a mental mistake. Kyle Shanahan getting too creative, getting too cute, trying to outsmart his opponent, but in doing so, truly only outsmarting himself because he got away from what was working before Indianapolis adjusted. He made the adjustment to try and stay ahead of them. I guarantee that's what he's thinking. He's thinking that, yes, the Colts are going to switch it up and they're going to start stacking the box and stop the run. And we don't want to get into a situation where we're behind the downs, behind the chains. We want to stay ahead. And if we move, if we zig when they're zagging, we're just going to keep throwing all over them. But it didn't work out. On the defense, you've seen games where it felt like they had no adjustments. Against the Packers, it didn't feel like we could make an adjustment to save our lives. The next week, coming back, all of a sudden we were making all the right moves. We held the Arizona Cardinals, a team that's averaging, 35 points a game to 17. The defense has shown flashes at time. But the problem is we've not seen consistency for this 49er team. We have not seen a team that's able to put together 4 full quarters of consistent football. They've been unable to show us what they're made of for 60 minutes. Can they replicate that success on a regular basis? And if so, how? For me on the offense, it's a simplification. It's getting back to what you do well. On defense, it's all about communication. Fred Warner controlling the entire defense, but also Hufanga talked about it in his presser today. It's about that communication on the back end. We can't have those badly missed coverages that we've seen at times. We can't have the aggravating PI penalties. We have got to be able to play consistently, get back to basics, and just execute. Just focus on the fact that for a lot of these games left on the schedule, the 49ers are the more talented team, the more talented roster. They should not have to out-scheme many of these teams. In fact, they shouldn't out-scheme themselves. That would be my premise, that the continual complicated offense we're running is causing penalties. It's causing misalignments. It's causing confusion amongst our own players greater than it's causing confusion on the other side of the ball. So if we have a talented roster, let's get out there and prove it. Let's get out there and show people what this 49ers team is about. Let's show them some heart. And that's got to come from the players. That, honestly, as much as you want to criticize Kyle Shanahan, as much as I criticize Kyle Shanahan, as much as I want him to develop a servant leadership mindset, a greater accountability to his personality style, those things are not what will make the players run through brick walls. Yes, it can increase their enthusiasm out there, but really, I think that's players challenging players. I think that is, one man calling out the next. I am old school in that regard, and I get that the modern athlete is less inclined to do that. But I agree that on the good organizations, on the organizations that have the top head coaches that are continually in the playoff hunt, that year after year show success, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a prime example, even as they ride Ben Roethlisberger into oblivion, their previous greats, their gold jacket players coming back into the room, coming back into the locker room, talking to the players on the field, telling them what accountability looked like in their day, how they held their teammates accountable, how they fired each other up. I realize times are different now, But you can't tell me that Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Roger Craig, you cannot tell me that if you brought those gentlemen back into the locker room and gave them that face time, that they couldn't get this current roster fired up. Fired up. Because that's what we need. We need to turn those flashes into consistency.